What's up everybody, Kier Gomes here, and welcome back. In today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you guys a very beginner level 4-ace production. This was one of the first 4-ace productions that I learned. It was kind of just concocted from a bunch of different methods. Only thing I can really say about it is if you're new to Magic, it's a perfect 4-ace production to learn. And if you're not new to Magic, it's a perfect 4-ace production just to fidget with and expand on and make your own. Before we get started, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's roll that intro and get you guys on your way.
Let's go.
Okay, so first I'm going to show you just a quick performance of the trick and then we will get into the breakdown. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be using the Cucumber Mint playing cards. I have reviewed these on my channel, by the way, so if you're interested, I'll leave the link below. So for the sake of this example, let's say that we're doing the trick live. I would start with some patter, set some context for the trick. So in this case, let's say, as a magician, it's super important to be able to locate cards out of a shuffled pack. It doesn't really matter where they're at. All that matters is that I'm able to find them and grab them quickly. So let's say for this example, we're going to use the 4 aces. Let's just go ahead and give the deck a wave, and we were able to produce the first 2 aces. It's the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts. Now, if you watch carefully, I'm going to take the deck, see if we can find that third one, just riffle off. There we go. And we have now found 3 of the 4 aces. It's the ace of hearts, the ace of clubs, and the ace of diamonds. Not bad, but the ace of spades is the most important one, so let's see if we can find it just by flicking the deck, and we got it. Now, of course, you need to be able to get rid of cards as fast as you can find them, so let's just get rid of it. Now, the nice thing about doing the trick or the routine that exact way is that it actually, like let's say you're table hopping at a gig, it actually perfectly sets you up to be able to do the trick again. It puts everything back in the location that it's supposed to be in. So after performing that trick, you can perform it again and again if you do it exactly like that. So let's get into the breakdown. So your setup is going to look like this. The first thing you're going to need to do is get 4 aces out of the deck, or you can use queens or kings or 3s, whatever you want. But I use the 4 aces. What you want to do is put 3 of the aces face down on top and then put 1 ace on the bottom. So your setup should look like 1 ace at the bottom and 3 aces on top. It's very clean because you don't have to have any cards face up. And as well, if you know what you're doing, you can even shuffle the cards. So you can do that, really add a level of convincing. Once you've got the setup, 1 ace on the bottom, 3 aces on top. Now you can get into the mechanics of it. And again, this is very simple. It's sleight of hand level 1. So very easy to do. I'm right-handed, so my left hand is my dealer's hand. You want to hold the deck in your dominant hand. So for me, hold the deck in my right hand, and I'm pinching with my middle and index on the bottom and my thumb on the top, okay? So holding it this way, what that's going to allow me to do is produce the first 2 aces, okay? Now you want to be applying a fair amount of pressure. If you hold it too loose, you could ruin the trick, but also if you're holding it too tight, nothing will happen. So hold it with a fair amount of pressure. Okay. Now what you're gonna do is toss the deck into your left hand or your non-dominant hand. So for me, I go from right to left. And because of the pressure I'm applying with my middle and index and my thumb, it's just gonna peel off the bottom card and the top card together. So ace of spades is on the bottom, ace of hearts is on the top. So again, that's index and middle, and then your thumb, okay? Put it about middle of the deck. You don't want it too high or too low. You'll lose control of the cards, but about middle is good. And you're just gonna wave it, maybe once, twice, 3 times, and shoot it off, and you're gonna be able to grab those cards. So for phase 1, we shoot out those 2 cards. Now once you've done that, you wanna show the 2 cards to your spectators. So you can see ace of spades and ace of hearts. So once you're here and you're showing the 2 cards, you have the ace of spades and the ace of hearts. Now look at my left hand. What I'm doing is pushing off the top card and getting a pinky break, okay? In this case, it's the ace of clubs. Now I'm getting a pinky break there while misdirecting the spectator. I'm showing them, okay, so I have these 2 cards. Now you're gonna drop 1 off above the break, and you're gonna hold this one in your right hand. So you got your break now, you've shown the cards, you're gonna go, okay, so now I've got the ace of spades and I've got the ace of hearts. Let's see if I can produce the next ace. Once you have this, you have your break, the secret ace here and the ace of hearts on top, you're just gonna take the ace of spades and tuck it under the break. So at an exposed view, it's gonna look like this. So now you have this situation, okay? So you slide it under and you go, okay, now what we wanna do is see if I can catch the third ace between these two aces. Should be able to do it. All I need to do is wave, and there we go. So now you've got 3 aces. Now again, you're gonna be doing the same thing. So with some misdirection, you're showing that you have 3 aces, and again, look at my left hand, getting that break, okay? Now that I've got my break, you're just gonna count off the cards, and we're gonna talk about that in the subtleties. You're gonna show those 3 cards. Again, now you're above the break, so you have your 3 cards plus this secret card. And now you're gonna do a color change. Now, the setup that you have a couple options. You can do like a shapeshifter, which is gonna change it to just the ace of diamonds, or you can do the shake change or wave change and change it, or what I do is like this little duck change type thing and produce it that way. Doesn't matter what color change you do, but for me, it'll look like this. I'll go, okay, so now I have these 3 aces. Let's see if we can find that 4th one. I should be able to do it if I just flick the deck. There we go. Now I like doing it that way because it happens so quick that the spectator doesn't really have time to try to put it together. And as well, even if they're burning your hands, it goes so quick they won't be able to catch it. So that's how I do it. But you could just as well say, we've got 3 aces. Let's see if we can find the 4th one. If I just shake it, I should be able to do it. So now you've got your 4th ace and you're mostly clean. You just have your ace on top. Now, the last thing that I do is the Cardini vanish, and I do that because it actually puts me in perfect setup to be able to perform the trick again without having to take any cards out. Because now we've got 3 aces right there on top where they need to be. This one on top of those face up. Now if I vanish it and I go, okay, you need to be able to get rid of cards just as fast as you produce them. So by flicking the deck, what you're actually doing with the Cardini vanish is passing that card back to the bottom. So now I could do the entire trick over again. Now the nice thing about that is if you do it that way, you can perform it over and over again. So if you're table hopping at a gig, or if you're performing for more than one group of people and you don't want to have to take the time to set up again, this just puts you back in automatic position to be able to do the trick again. So let's do that one more time at like a high-speed walkthrough, and then we'll talk about some subtleties that you can do when you're performing this, okay? We're pinching middle and index and then thumb on the top. We toss over into this hand, show the first 2 aces. Simultaneously, we're getting a break. Turn them over, show that we have the 2, wave the deck. Now at this point, you just split to show that 3rd ace. Now we're gonna repeat that same process again. Show 3 aces, getting that break secretly. Count them off, 1, 2, 3, and we're ready to produce that 4th ace. Color change. Show the card. All right, so now that we have learned the mechanics and the setup, let's talk about some subtleties that you can do when performing this trick. All right, so now let's talk about some subtleties that you can do with this trick if you're performing it live. Now, I really think that if you're gonna perform this trick, you should be doing it live because the angles are so good and so clean. It would be kind of a waste not to perform this for people because you can get great reactions off of such a simple thing. But if you're performing this live, the most important thing is patter. So when you go to do that first phase where you pop out the 2 aces, in this case, it was a jack and a king. The best way to verbally set up the trick is just to let your spectator know what you're gonna try to do. So like for me, if I perform this trick, I like to go into a little bit of patter about producing cards, and as a magician, how important it is to know where any card is in a deck. And once you've done that, the rest of the work is really easy because the spectator ultimately is just gonna be watching your hands, and they're gonna be listening to you, but at the same time, they're really just gonna be trying to look and see if they can catch you doing something. Another really good subtlety is in the final phase where we're getting ready to produce that 4th ace. So you've got your first 3 aces that you've already produced. Now, obviously, you know from the tutorial, you just need to get a break here, but the easiest thing to do if you want to hide that break, show the aces or even hand them out to your spectator, subtly push over, get your break. Here's where the subtlety comes in, at least one that I like to do, is hold the aces and then just count them like that on top of the deck, because now you're holding all the cards above the break that you need, and then it's easier to just pick up. It's better than doing this and then getting your break and then going, okay, trying to square it up while holding your brake. And then the worst thing you can do is push the cards together like that. It makes a spectator aware that something fishy is going on. So I just count them on top of the deck, and then you're pretty much done, because now you can just pick it up all squared up, ready to go, and produce that final ace. Well guys, there you go. Really hope you enjoyed it. Again, super beginner level, so it's something that's perfect for you. I know I'm trying to get better about knowing my audience and what you guys want to see, and something that seems to be really popular is these beginner level tutorials. Every time I do one, I get great feedback, so I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you want more advanced level tutorials, also let me know that. I'd be happy to do some. As long as I'm allowed to teach it, and as long as it's not, you know, somebody else's idea or tutorial. As always guys, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't yet. Also let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you like it? Is this something that you plan on using? Are you new to Magic? Is this helpful at all? Let me know all that stuff. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.